Hello, 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 hello. Welcome again. So, welcome to yet another stream where I speak on the topics, on random topics from 0 to 1. So, in the last stream, we tried to talk on the topic, is technology becoming the new, is technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon, a geopolitical weapon? So, this was our topic, and we did some justice with that topic, but it was not satisfactory. It was never 8 or 9 out of 10. So in this stream is not going to be very long. It might go up to 35 minutes, 40 minutes. This stream is mainly to rehearse about what we did in the last stream. Last stream unfortunately ended with uh, some problems, issues with the net. In this stream, I'll just rehearse what I spoke about in the last stream. The topic being, is technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon? Without any further ado, let's start. Imagine a situation at home, brother holding a TV remote and her sister wants to watch her favorite show. He says, only if you do my homework, you'll get this remote. He didn't use any force, he didn't use any fight, but just this, but because he had what she needed, give him the authority. This is the exact scenario of the geopolitics today. If the technology is the new remote, no force, no nothing. Earlier in the days, the power was only confined to the people who had dominance over trade routes and oil. But the energy, the power game is changing its direction onto the technological aspects. 300 Shahed drones being fired by Iran today. Warfares are actually not on ground these days. It is not happening via militaries, armies. It is mostly via missiles. This is yet another aspect of technological advancements. This is technology being weaponized. Race in this AI semiconductor chips, drones, data, data infrastructure, digital infrastructure. These are all the spectrums. These are all the competitive spaces which countries are running towards. They most aggressively are looking to bulk on these things. What does countries in general want? An ideal country must have A, money, B, safety, C, power. And this power aspect and the correlated aspects, which are money and safety, come by having the edge in the game, which is the game of dominance, which is the game of influence, which is happening with technology. In the Ukraine-Russia war, cyber attacks, satellite information, and drones are the major resources which are being utilized the most. Yes, they bring turmoil to nations. So I guess with all these advancements in technology, technology is a double-edged sword. So it can either be used for the development, upliftment of the societies, or it can be inherently weaponized and to be used for destructive as well as an asset in these tough times. So, yes, technology is being used as a weapon. It is being weaponized in this modern world, in this modern geopolitics. So, this was my preparation. Let's do it again. Okay, we can be even more precise, right? So, this time also we are missing out on stats. Stats. I told the story, that's good. Stats, and then I connected the technology. Okay, let's look at the time which I took. It had, okay, 7 minutes since I started speaking. I'll try again and I'll use a stopwatch this time. Very good afternoon. I'm thrilled to have initiated today's group discussion on the topic, is technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon? Imagine a scenario at home. Imagine a situation at home. Brother holding the TV remote, and sister wants to watch her favorite TV show. And the brother says, and he says, if you want this remote, you have to do my homework. Without any force, without any fight, he managed to get what he wanted just because he had what she needed. This is, my dear panelists, is the game of geopolitics. In the modern geopolitics, you don't essentially need to force or show power, but the power is being subtly shifted to owning the technology, which is the remote in the modern geopolitics, my friends. Earlier in the days, it used to be confined to only oil and the power over the trade routes. But today, the game has shifted to technology. In the ongoing Iran-Israel war, the warfare is mostly about drones being shot up, interceptors being used to stop the launched missiles, satellites being used to find the exact locations, AI being used to spread rumors. All this is happening. And anyone who still says that technology is not being weaponized right here, I think they must look at the bigger picture now. The game, the geopolitical game, in fact, the game within this conflict is revolving around technology. The whole thing is revolving around technology. Let's take the example of the Russia-Ukraine war, ongoing war, cyber attacks, tracing places, tracing the exact locations with satellites again, cyber attacks, and the usage of drones is these are amongst the most used assets, if this is the right term to say, in this ongoing war. So, yes, AI and technology on whole, which is the bigger upper umbrella, is getting weaponized in this modern game of geopolitics. So, I would love to hear your views. This is what I'm going to say to my fellow panelists. Just wanted to conclude it by saying that that technology is a two-edged sword. It can be utilized by the countries for the upliftment of the society, and or it can be used as a lethal weapon in the times of war. Which brings me to the second aspect of this conversation, of this speech. We talked about technology. What aspects in technology, to be precise? Owning the skin in the game, having the skin in the game by being at the forefront of the semiconductors, the silicon chips, having the data, the digital infrastructure, and to own the social media applications or the applications which has a bulk of users. These social media platforms are being used to manipulate the larger bulk of population. The rate at which people are coming up onto these applications, what we say as the tech adaptability rate, tech adoption rate, with with off the charts tech adoption rates, people can be manipulated. In fact, the elections can be manipulated by just by having or owning the social media platforms. Data is indeed the new king. So yes, this is it. And it took me 6 minutes, 19 seconds or 15 seconds to compile the whole thing. I took many pauses in between, uh, which which I think that could have ended in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes is also quite a lot. And am I covering everything? Let's see. But I'll speak this again. The reason behind speaking this again and again and again and again and again is to actually train my brain to reach those areas even faster. Okay, this time I'll try to sum this up in 1 minute. Anyhow, very good afternoon. I'm thrilled to have initiated today's GD on the topic, is technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon? My dear friends, imagine a situation at home. Brother holding the TV remote and sister wants to see her fa and her his sister wants to see her favorite show. And he says, "Only if you do my homework, you'll get the remote." This is so without any force or without any fighting, he managed to get what he wanted. because he had what she needed. This, my dear friends, is the game of geopolitics today. Modern geopolitics is not about having the most powerful military. Earlier in the days, the power used to revolve around the countries which had the access to oil, yes, access to oil and trade routes. But today, the game, the energy is shifting to the remote, which is the technology. Technology like the semiconductor chips, having the supply of semiconductor chips, having the data, having the digital infrastructure, and owning the social media platforms. These give you the edge in the game today. India concerns and about losing misuse of large chunks of data by China, thus the ban of TikTok. So this took me again 1 minute 45 seconds. I'll try again. Very good afternoon. I'm thrilled to have started today's group discussion on the topic is a technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon. Imagine a situation at home. Brother having the TV remote and her sister wants to see her favorite show. And he says, if you want this remote, you have to do my homework. So you see, without any force, without any fighting, he managed to get what he needed just because he had what she needed. My dear friends, this is the game of geopolitics today. The countries don't essentially need to own the power, the most advanced military, but in in today's world, the remote is the technology. The technology is the countries having dominance over AI chips or the semiconductor chips, having the digital infrastructure, having the data, and having the social media platforms. These give you the edge in the geopolitical game today. So, yes, the game, the focus, or the power is transitioning itself, and it is becoming, and technology is becoming the forefront. Would love to hear your views. Thank you. And would love to hear your views. Thank you. What are your views? Thank you. So this took me around 1 minute 20 seconds. It's 1 minute 29 seconds, but that included what I wanted to say in the last. Okay. So yes, but there were no stats whatsoever. I don't. I actually want to include some stats. So I'll be including some stats, that's for sure. Let's see what stats we include. Okay, so there are a few things that I have. Data is the new oil. Whosoever controls technology controls the future. The 21st century wars are fought with algorithms. Fear of data misuse. TikTok wins. Data is the new oil, right? We can use this somewhere. Data is the new oil. Economic dominance today is driven by technological security. Economic dominance today is okay. So drones are coming into picture, satellites, cyber attacks, all these things in the warfare today are actually all advancements in the space of technology. Technology has shifted power from visible battlefields to invisible systems. Those who control these shapes the global outcomes. Killer line, yes, of course, it's a killer line. But I need a conclusion. Okay. However, I'd also like to add the technology is a double-edged sword. It's not inherently. How do we pronounce this word? Let's see. Inherently. Technology is not inherently a weapon, but it can certainly be weaponized. I'll quickly open my YouTube channel and see how if I'm actually audible all this while. Yes, I am very much audible, and I'm the only one watching myself. Good job, Shashank. Okay, coming back. Inherently is not inherently a weapon, but it can certainly be weaponized depending on how countries choose it. ठीक है? It can be either be used to for the upliftment of the society or to harm someone. ठीक है? So the exact thing is going to be, imagine a simple situation at home. Brother is holding the TV remote and his sister wants to watch her favorite TV show. He says, "I'll give you the remote only if you do my homework." Now he didn't fight because he controls something she needs. He has power over her. This is exactly how geopolitics works. Countries try to control what others depend on, right? But today, the remote is the technology. Countries that control the semiconductor chips, data, digital infrastructure, and even the social media platforms have a clear edge. In fact, industries like semiconductor alone are worth hundreds of billions of dollars globally, showcasing how critical this control has become. And we already and we can already see this playing out in ongoing conflicts where technologies like drone and cyber capabilities are shaping outcomes on the ground. So technology is no longer just a tool, it is the forefront of modern geopolitics. In geopolitical power, I'd like to hear your views, especially on how technology is influencing current conflicts. Perfect. Well, this is actually a very good way to put this. As we often say, technology is a double edged. It depends on how it should be used. Okay. So see, knowledge is the only key to speaking, to be great at group discussions, because if you have content, you can speak. If you don't have content, you cannot speak. Inherently. Okay, so I played prompting, and Chat GPT. I Chat GPT'd. Is it the right term? So I did Chat GPT, and I told it to tell me about India and its condition on semiconductors. India's dependence, take a very important point. India is heavily dependent on semiconductor imports. 90%, 90 to 95% of chips are imported. Imports reach up to 24 billion in 2024. Demand is rising. They rise fast due to mobile EVs and AI. Kerala, India consumption consumes AI chips but produces very little. This creates a very strategic vulnerability. How big is the demand? Market size is 40-45 billion. 45 to 50 billion. They expected to grow at expected 100 billion to 300 billion by 2035. India's semiconductor demand is exploding, which makes our control over chips even more critical in geopolitics. Why this is a geopolitical risk? India imports mainly from China, Taiwan, and South Korea. During chip storage, India factories shut down. If supply is cut, entire industries from smartphone to defense can be affected. What is India doing? Very strong point. Government push. India Semiconductor Mission 2.0. 1.25 lakh crore का budget है. Investments. 1.6 lakh crores approved projects. New Fab India Tata chip plant. India is actively trying to reduce dependency and build self-reliance in chips. 20% of the world's chip design engineers are in India. 20% of world's chips design engineers are in India. GD while India lacks manufacturing already dominates in chip design talent. Key point India ठीक है, इंडिया इज वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट डिफेंस इंपोर्टर। ठीक है, defense system depends on chips, sensors, and AI system. Modern defense systems, from missiles to drones, all powered by semiconductors. From AI to drones, all are powered by semiconductors. ठीक है, India developed its own chip. Vikram 32 processor is in development. India is now building indigenous chips, even for space and defense, showing how critical this technological advancements. ठीक है, okay, so my very important point. India's semiconductor chips, okay, technological geopolitics, because okay, we can mention this India's mission, which was Indian Semiconductor Mission 2.0, pushed by the Indian government, proves that semiconductor is the need, and India at now imports 70% better, and this is a very important aspect in the geopolitics on whole, because India entire industries can be shut if the if the if the demand of these imports are not fulfilled, if the demand of these imports are not fulfilled. That's why India has initialized the very important mission, and we want more such. Okay, launched its mission. That is the India's what mission? India Semiconductor Mission 2.0, which was launched. Okay, we can read about this India Semiconductor mission, right? Okay, so India Semiconductor Mission 2.0 was launched in very recently this year in the budget of 2026 as the next phase of India semiconductor strategy. Launched in okay, so Indian Semiconductor Mission was launched in December 2021. Outlay was 76,000 crore to attract chip fabs packaging units. ठीक है. Problem, India still imports most, lacks full ecosystem, materials, equipments, IP. Next level upgrade, not starting from scratch. Okay. Building budget and funding allocation is 1000 crores. Broader ecosystem push. Just key long-term semiconductor push 1 lakh crores scale. Wow. India is making semiconductor with massive long-term capital, similar to how countries earlier invested in oil and energy. Okay, core objective, most important, make India self-reliant in semiconductors. Make India self-reliant in semiconductor. Semiconductors power everything from smartphones to missiles. So if India builds its own chip ecosystem, it reduces dependency and increases strategy. ठीक है. Okay. Chips used in defense, AI, satellites everywhere. Countries controlling chips control military plus economy. ठीक है. If we can put it like this, IMS 2. ISM, Indian Semiconductor Mission 2.0, launched in 26 Long-term memory is not just a it is not just a political economic policy. It is actually a strategic and geopolitical move. The semiconductor mission is a strategic initiative to reduce an end-to-end semiconductor ecosystem and reduce India's dependency on global chip supply chains. Basically, again, for example, India launched semiconductor and reduced dependency, just like oil shaped geopolitics in 20th century. ठीक है. Just like oil shaped geopolitics in 21st century, semiconductors are actually shaping the geopolitics in 21st century. US, China chip war. Is it actually a thing? US China chip war? So yes, this is a thing. But this is old, right? Video shows 2 years from now, I investigated China's secret program and its shocking geopolitical yesterday. Things cool. Okay. Oh wow, it's actually live. Chip war. It's actually a thing. So there are very recent videos on this. The secret chip war nobody is talking about. Wow, wow, wow. Love this. I'm currently listening the finance minister. India is going around in semiconductor. Man, how would I have lost so much? So it's 4:44 already. Okay, this is it. I'll say it one more time. Very good afternoon. I'm thrilled to have started today's group discussion on the topic: Is technology becoming the new geopolitical weapon? Imagine a situation at home: a brother having a TV remote, and a sister wants to see her favorite show. And he says, if you want this remote, you have to do my homework. Without any force, without any fighting, he manages to get his work done because he had what she needed. And this, my dear friends, is the game of geopolitics today. You don't have to have armies on the ground, you don't have to have all the force, but you just simply need to have what others need in order to have that edge. In today's world, having the edge in semiconductor chips, data, digital infrastructure, and social media platforms give you this edge clearly. Technology is indeed the major power focus. The power is shifting towards the technology. Earlier in the days, it used to be centered around oil and trade routes, but today the focus has shifted and is technology is clearly at the forefront. The severity of this issue can be seen just by seeing that India recently launched ISM 2.0, which is Indian Semiconductor Mission in the last budget of in February 2026, which aims to invest heavily on semiconductor chips, which actually is the fuel, is the basic component from designing electronics, TVs to missiles and drones. So yes, technology is at the forefront of the geopolitics in the geopolitics. So this is it. I would love to hear your views. And when it comes to an end, I would like to end this by saying that considering all your points and keeping the point in mind about the about the usage of technology in the modern warfare and the power shifts and the dominance gained due to the being heavy on AI chips and being heavy on innovation and technology and seeing the usage of satellites, drones, and cyber attacks in modern warfares, which have shifted from being on ground with armies and arsenals from being completely digital. So yes, the focus has shifted to technology, but I would step back and want to say that technology is indeed a great tool. It is a double-edged sword, and it can be either used for the upliftment of the societies by the country, or it can be used for, or it can inherently be used as weapons. Thank you so much. So this was it. I am actually finally being able to make up some arguments around this. At least I'm prepared for one topic, and there are definitely more things to keep adding on to this argument. I'll create at least 5, 6 minutes speech, and then I'll compress it to 1 minute. Thank you so much. So this time, what will I rate myself? This time I'll rate myself 6, 6.5, 6. Okay, 6.5. I'll rate. Okay, so our initial rating was 4 because we were able to speak something, but this time we are including a story. We are including ISM 2.0. We are including stats. We are including all the buzzwords. We are not including stats, but we are including, yes, some data that covers up for it. Although we have an ending line, which is it's a double-edged sword, so this gives us the liberty to speak, and we have a story I mentioned that. So good job, and this is how we keep progressing. I'll see. Imagine we do this 5, 6, and 8, 10 times tomorrow. Definitely, we'll be able to speak something or the other tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, the target for tomorrow. Target for tomorrow is to prepare on 10 topics like this, at least 10 topics. Okay, speak up, research, read, prepare, and then speak again. Okay, speak again and again and again. I'll make this topic of technology being used as a weapon in the modern geopolitics. I'll make, I'll have so much content tomorrow. I'm going to win big on this topic tomorrow. And after I complete this topic, and it's going to happen by 12 tomorrow. After I am fulfilled with this topic, I'll shift to doing 10 more topics apart from this. And I'll create content for everyone. Some common statements, some quotations, and then I'll again come on to this topic because this is actually what is we are going to face in the first round. Thank you for joining. Goodbye. Goodbye.